Hallo, welkom weer hier so by Farmboek. Okay, ons hou by die tema van saadgrootte. Hier is die derde video in ons reeks van Nielsen, Nielsen Pioneer se boeredag. Ons kyk 'n bietjie na die groeikragtigheid spesifiek wat saadgroot is of die invloed wat saadgroot is op groeikragtigheid het. Wat sê die Amerikaner vir ons? Wat presies was is sy opvatting oor dit? So kom ons luister 'n bietjie.
Just another question on the size, just to finish that maybe. But there's no difference between the size and vigor for germination.
No.
It's more to do with the genetics.
Yeah, look.
And the female size of the kernel than it's to do with anything else.
Yeah, let's not lose that either. No. So the two things determine size, right? So let's pretend that's a female inbred. Let's pretend this is a female inbred. It's a awfully darn good inbred, but right. So you got your smaller kernels at the top, your big kernels in the middle, and maybe smaller ones at the bottom, right? So just what comes off the cob gives you differences in size and weight, right? And then some inbreds are naturally bigger sized seed or smaller size. So there's two things. There's a genetic component, and then what's coming off the cob in terms of position on the cob that determines seed size that you plant. Right.
The determination of vigor
Yeah.
and germination rate,
Yeah.
the smaller is not worse than a bigger one.
No. So again, the seed size by itself does not influence vigor because it's not influencing genetics. I mean, it's the same genetics is what I mean to
that's what I'm
say.
saying, yeah.
The only time it might correlate to vigor if on, and it's, I can't, well, you can see that the ones at the tip are rounds, right? And especially large round seed that's being harvested for seed production and run through the seed processing plant. Sometimes those large rounds, because the embryo face is more exposed on a round, it can be damaged more easily during handling. So there can be problems with large rounds with seed quality if the quality control of the processing is not good. Does that make sense? And so that's why, and I don't know, I assume Pioneer tells you that they give you good quality seed. I assume that. But we have some smaller seed companies in Indiana that are smaller than Pioneer, but they take exceptional pride on their quality control of seed handling, and sometimes they will compare themselves to the big boys like Pioneer and say, oh, our seed, we have better quality control, because we pay more attention to it. And there may be some truth to that. Right. So again, the bottom line is large seed versus small. As long as they are equal quality during the processing, then there will be no difference on that initial vigor. Now, there's difference on how much endosperm there is to keep the young plant going, the mother's milk. But in terms of overall seedling vigor, no, there should be no difference between them as long as they're equal seed quality. So in that regard, I would never purposefully avoid small seed. I don't say that I like the really small seed, but I wouldn't avoid it if that was the hybrid that I wanted. But I might be a little more careful on when and how and where I plant it. Again, just to hedge my bets, knowing that most of the time it's not going to matter. But if I have the flexibility, I'm going to hedge my bets because nothing we do out here is black and white, right? Everything we do is a shade of gray. So the decision we make this year doesn't mean it's going to be right next year. And so we're always hedging our bets. And again, so if you understand that scenario, that yes, there's a slight risk of the small seed not being able to keep that plant going, well, then you can sort of smartly decide where to position that if you have a chance.
Dankie Bob vir daai bietjie inligting. Okay, so dit was nou die derde video in ons reeks hierso gewees. Vir die vierde ene is ons nog steeds op saadgrootes. Maar vir interessantheid, wat is die effek saadgrootes en jou ontkiemings volg, die korrelasie daarmee? So kyk uit vir hom op ons Facebook bladsy. Hy sal daar wees. Sien julle binnekort. Groete.